Michaela Price here. This is our Stretch Mobility and Recovery Express Stretch session for bar using our Rolga and activator. We're going to start with some SMR, our self-myofascial release for our hamstrings and quads using our Rolga. You can do this on the wall or the floor. I'm going to start on the hamstrings. So my legs are in the outside valleys of my Rolga. My hands are for support. I'm going to roll down to above the back of the knee. We don't want to roll the back of the knee and then roll it back towards the glutes and back down. Forward. Rolling over now onto our quads. Again, using those outside valleys of our Rolga. In a forearm plank is how I usually like to do this. Again, not rolling on the knee. We can roll up towards our groin, down to above the knee. 3 to 5 passes is really all you need to release that fascia tissue. Make sure you're breathing nice and deeply. All right. Moving on to the glutes. So I'm going to sit on the Rolga with my tailbone in the center. You can do this on the floor or on a hard chair. Leaning back as you roll into the upper parts of the glutes. Noticing any areas that you have tension or tightness. We're going to really focus on some release in those areas using our activator next. All right, so gently coming off of your Rolga, grabbing your activator or a hard ball if you have one. I'm going to roll onto my back supine here. And I'm going to place the ball, my glute medius in the middle of my butt cheek is where I'm having the discomfort. So that's where I'm going to place the ball and kind of lay on it. My feet are bent, but if you prefer to have your legs flat, you can do that as well. I find that I have better balance on the ball if I have at least one leg bent. Now you might be able to tell I'm rocking side to side a little bit. You can do that to help release the tissue. Again, we want to make sure the muscles are relaxing. We're taking nice, full, deep breaths. I'm going to switch to the other side now. Placing the ball. Rocking back and forth. Getting that tender area, trying to release that trigger point. Imagine and picture that muscle relaxing as you breathe into that space where you have your ball placed. Nice deep breaths. Good. All right. Rolling up. We're going to set the ball aside. I'm going to put mine out of the way so that the dog doesn't think it's a toy. Moving into some stretches now. I'm going to do this stretch on the floor, but I also have a chair option. Joel, come here. Here's your ball. Here. So the chair option, you can fold over in a cross-leg figure 4 position. And then when we go to cross the body, you can drop the leg down and do a spinal twist from a seated position. Otherwise, we can do this on the floor. Crossing the leg over the thigh from a supine position. So we want to make sure that the ankle is on the outside of the big leg bone, so we're not putting pressure on that ankle. We can apply pressure to the leg here to kind of open up the hips a little bit, or we can reach through and grab the back of our leg and pull it closer to us for a big stretch down the outside of the leg into the glute. Nice deep breath. Extending the bottom leg. The bent leg we're going to take across the midline of our body. Your arm is going to extend in the opposite direction. So it's not necessarily about bringing that knee down to the floor. It's about getting that nice twist and stretch through the leg and the spine. Good, nice deep breaths. One more. All right, we're going to go to the other side now. Crossing over the thigh. Again, your ankle is on the outside of the leg bone. We can use our hand on the bent thigh to press and open up the hips a little bit more and stretch the glute. Or we can reach through and grab the back of our leg. We can use that elbow here to press into the leg as we get that stretch. Nice deep breath. Breathing deeply into that space. Taking that leg across the midline of your body now, like we did on the other side, your opposite arm in the opposite direction. Again, this knee does not have to touch the ground. You see space here. Look back at your hand that's extended. Nice spinal stretch. One more deep breath here. All right, moving into a sun salutation. So if you're not getting down on the ground, when we go into the pigeon, you would have a chair option. Similar to what we did with our figure 4 stretch just a moment ago, but you're going to lean forward in the chair if you're seated. Otherwise, we can do the option on the floor. All right, big inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step it out to a plank position on your bar, on your knees, or on your toes. Push back into down dog to get that good stretch in your legs. Pressing your heels towards the floor, that good stretch in your shoulders. Single leg dog, lift the leg up and pull it through perpendicular. So you have the option of dropping down onto your hip here. Your legs are 2 90-degree bends. Or feed that leg all the way through and fully extend it. The more this leg here is perpendicular, the bigger the stretch. Now, if you're super tight or your flexibility isn't very good today, this might be enough stretch for you. But if you want a little bit more, you can take a big inhale and bring yourself down to your forearms. Or if you want a little bit more, big inhale, fully extending those arms and dropping down to the mat. One more deep breath. Walking those hands back. Pushing back into down dog. We are switching sides now. So if you're on the floor, you could certainly just roll yourself to the other side like so, or follow me into your down dog. Pushing back into down dog. Pressing your heels into the mat. Extend into single leg dog, lifting that leg up. Pull that leg all the way through into your pigeon. Again, you can be on your side of your hip here, or extend that leg all the way through. Now, again, this front leg, the more perpendicular it is, the bigger the stretch. We want to try to keep our shoulders away from our ears. Sink back into your butt so that you can get that good stretch. If you want a little bit more, big inhale, come down to your forearms. And if you'd like a little bit more, big inhale and sink forward, dropping your head down to the floor. Walking it back, pushing into your down dog. We're going to come to a standing position. Step it in and roll it up. Big shoulder roll. Our last stretch for today is dancer pose. So we have a couple options. The first option is to put your foot on the back of a chair, or we can grab the top of the foot and do a quad stretch. The other option is to extend into the dancer. We're going to grab the inside of the foot. So you're still holding onto the top of the foot, but now we're going to press into that foot. So our knees are no longer close together. We can tilt forward, pressing and extending. You really get that good quad stretch. If you want to work on your balance, you can release from your chair or bar. And come on down. Let's do that on the other side. Again, chair option, placing the foot on the chair, grabbing the top of the foot, pulling your knee in for a quad stretch, or grab the inside of that foot, pressing into it, pressing away from your body, tilting forward. Option to let go of your bar in your dancer. And release. That concludes our stretch, mobility, and recovery express stretch session for bar. I hope you feel great, feel nice and stretched out. We lengthened the muscles that we used in our bar class and specifically focused a lot on our glutes today. Thanks for coming.